welcome to today's tutorial. Yeah, if you hear some of these things, you just know another tutorial has just landed and we are about to begin a class. And without wasting so much time, welcome, Karibuni. For those people tuning from Kenya, Karibuni sana. For those who are tuning outside the country, welcome, feel at home. All right, today I want us to look at putting chords together to make ourselves sound better or sound a little bit professional or sound a little bit on another level. Of course, we are in the key of F sharp because most of you have requested that I do this tutorial in this key. And so today, allow me to adjust something here. Without going into so much detail, there is a piano that I love using here, and I'll just show you how I made it. All right, if you can listen to the... So this piano sounds like this. All right, so let me just show you how I made that piano. So I just took a normal grand like that, then I exit here, then I come to live control here. So here, there are a couple of things I need to do. So I need to control this right one because this is where my piano is. All right, so I want to make sure that I'm not going to affect any other. This is right 1, 2, 3 as indicated there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to the second knob here. Then I'm going to come to voice edit. Then I'm going to pick release. Then I'm going to come back. Then using this knob, because I just assigned to this knob here, I'm just assigning it here. All right, so the release here, I'm going to reduce that release up to somewhere there until you hear it begins to cut like that. Yeah. So with the 0 release, it sounds like this. It doesn't have that grit on it, so I'm just gonna cut it around maybe 40. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna cut it a little bit. Much fun. All right, so that's actually what I did. So I saved it, and I have it right there. So. Okay, so I'm just gonna come to the mixer here, and I want it down a bit so on my right too, I know you might be wondering, I have a suitcase here so that without the suitcase, the piano, the grand concert piano, this one sounds like this. Okay. All right, it sounds like that. So if I marry them together, they sound like this. So I'm just gonna come here. We have the volume. This is the mixer. So I'm gonna add it a bit until I just feel comfortable. All right. Sorry for that short setup. Okay, let me come to the right 3. I add a super dark pad. Okay, the keyboard is a Yamaha PSR SX 700. You can do this on 900, you can do it on 920. So here, I add that super dark part, and together it's gonna sound like this. Good, right? Sounds good. All right, now, let's get in now. So, I was talking about trying to put chords together, fusing 2 different chords together to get a desired flavor so that it could help us to play any song. Like, for example, take a song like Wastahili wana Wastahili wana. All right, I will come to that, I promise. So you can hear I'm just using plain chords like 1 Wastahili. There's still a 1, 1. There's a 4, which is a B. Wastahili. Back to 1, then 6. 1. this, I'll explain to you later. Bwana, or let's go. Bwana, wastahili back to 1. Bwana, go to 4. Atu kupokea utu. I'll explain this one. Kufu. All right. So allow me to have this this love song beat. It's just how do you call it? Just a loop to help me keep time. All right. So when I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna come to tempo. All right. I think I like it. 52 is not bad. So let's go. Straight chord. Straight to the 5. Then I do utukufu. All right, now that was the simplest way you can go around it. So you just go 1, 4, 5, 6, and 2. So those are the progression, all right? So for those who do not understand numbers, I have a video that I already made in this channel that I talk about numbers, all right? So numbers is you play along the number of the scale of that key. For example, this is the key of F sharp. We have the scale. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, or octave right there. So, or alternatively, you could go 1, number 1 is F sharp, 2 is an A flat or a G sharp, 3 is a B flat or an A sharp, 4 is a B, 5 is a C sharp or a D flat, 6 is an E flat or a D sharp, 7 would be my F, then finally you go back home. So we replace those names with numbers. So F sharp, because it's my root, it's my home key, it's gonna be my 1. So every time I say I'm doing a 1, I'm doing an F sharp. If I say I'm doing 4, I'm doing a B, because 1, 2, 3, 4, so I'm doing a B. If I say a 5, I'm doing a C sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. If I say I'm doing a 6, it's an E flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So every time I'm doing my 1, 4, and 5, I'm playing major. If I do a 2, 1, 2, I'm doing a minor. A 6 is a minor. A 3 is a minor, sorry for that, then back home. Now only 1 is remaining, a 7. How do we go? We do it as a diminish, or a diminished 7, right here. All right. Now I know you understand that. All right. Sorry, we deviated from the mission. Now, if we go back to what I was talking about, trying to put 2 distinctive chords so that we could acquire or achieve some flavor, what we're actually trying to do is take 2 either rival or closely related chords so that we could achieve some flavor. So the number 1 rule that I follow when I want to achieve that kind of flavor for putting these chords together, the thing I do is I ask myself, what are the relative minors to any key? For example, this is an F sharp. A relative minor is just a minor chord that can replace a 1. So if this is my 1, I'm going to look for a relative minor for F sharp. A relative minor for an F sharp is an E flat, this one. So I play as a minor. So that's a minor. So most of the time you guys play this chord as an F sharp and you do not know it's actually a minor. This chord and this, they're 2 different chords. This is an E flat minor and this is a G flat or an F sharp minor. So the number 1 thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try fuse these 2 chords together and hear how they sound. So E flat minor looks like this in the root. So you're going to land the first, the root position. Then we're going to go to the first inversion. Then we go to the third inversion. All right, so we got that. So you got to have to really master those positions right there. So I'm going to go there. So instead of playing my 1, I'm going to come and play an E flat minor on my left, like that. Then I'm going to add an F sharp here, major. So that it's going to sound like that. So instead of playing like this, it's going to sound like this. Or, So I'm doing my E flat minor here, or so, like that. All right. Now just listen to this. Was I healed? Then versus this. Was I healed? All right. Was I healed? Versus this. Was I healed? So you be the judge of that. Which one do you like? The one with a major and a minor? So what is happening here? I'm putting my major, which is an F sharp, my root, on my right hand. Then I'm doing my minor, my E flat minor, on the left. So together. Was time. So let's experiment this together with you. Let's interchange those two chords and see what we could achieve. So I'm going to put my major here, which is my 1. Then I'm going to add the 6 here. I kind of like the previous one. It's much better. It sounds good like this. All right, now you have that. Let's try and apply this one in music. So when you're starting, then a 2. Here, this is where we apply it. All right, so I'm doing this is a first inversion of an F sharp, so I'm just doing just adding it there. So what I'm doing here is, instead of playing this chord like that, I'm taking this one down here, so that I'm playing it like that. So instead of doing this, so I'm taking this one down, then I'm adding that F sharp up here. Yeah. So here. All right, forgive me for that. Sorry. I'll touch on that. So number 2 thing I like when approaching interfusing chords together is I go now to I've talked about the relative minors. Okay, before I leave that topic, allow me to touch on other chords. Like for example, can you apply that on a 5th and a 6 or on a 4? Yeah, you could. So I just showed you how to apply it on a 1. So I took that, the 6 here, and I added to the 1. Remember, you can just play like this, like that. But because this note, I'm repeating it, so I'm going to let it all go, because I'm going to play it right here. All right? I know you see this one very clearly. Okay, so let's try and apply this one on the 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the C sharp. So when we ask ourselves, what is the relative minor for a C sharp? A relative minor for the C sharp is 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a 6 is right here. So I'm going to take my B flat as a minor. Here's a major. Here's a minor. So I want you to look at that. Try it very well. So here it is, and add it to a C sharp. So a C sharp is right here, a C sharp major, and like that. So what happens is, because this is gonna go out of the key temporarily, what we try and do, we go to the note that is outside the scale, which is D, and flatten it. So I'm gonna have this one together with it. So I'm gonna get this one. So this is a C sharp major, all right, and this right here is a B flat minor. So it sounds like this. So it sounds as if it's suspended in the air. So this is an interchange of these two notes here. So the C sharp. So what I usually do, I will just take my here, then together that one, or all these are options. came from here, 6 over 1, then a 3 over 5. Now let's try and apply that on a 4. So a 4 is a B, right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is a B. So what is the relative minor of a B? A relative minor of a B is an A flat here, or a G sharp here. So I can replace this 4 with an A flat minor. So an A flat minor sounds like this, and a B major sounds like this. A teensy difference, right? So an A flat minor, all these are root positions, which means you can play them easily. Then a B. So this is a root, this is the first inversion, this is the second inversion. This triad or this chord you play it most of the time, and sometimes you do not even know. So instead of playing this thing over and over again, just try and change it. Okay, so I'm gonna try and put it together with that. So I'm gonna take this one. So I'm gonna add that A flat minor together, and it's gonna sound like this. So remember, the A flat minor looks like this, which is actually a second degree of an F sharp. So I'm gonna come down here and add it here. So instead of, I'm gonna have this one. So this one is actually a 4 and a 2 together, all right? The 5 and each relative minor is just a 5 and a 3. A 5 and a 3. Then this one is a 4 over 2. Sounds like that. 4 over 4 sounds like that, but 4 over 2 sounds like that. All right? I hope it makes sense. So sometimes the way I do it, I try and if I play like that, I will realize that I have 2 notes repeating themselves here. This is a B. Remember, this is 440 hertz. So this is gonna be 441. This is gonna be 442. So I'm gonna have this one. If you divide by 2, I'm gonna have 221, maybe something like that. So a repetitive note here. So I'm gonna let this one go. So I'm gonna play instead of doing this. I'm gonna let this one go, and I'm gonna repeat these notes here. So I'm gonna do, or like that, okay? Or I'm giving all these options. You can practice all of them. Now that was a 4 over 2. So let's try and interchange them and feel the flavor. So I'm going to do my 2 here, then I'm going to do my 4 here. Still makes sense. So together I can have this one. Okay, that is a mix of 1 and a 6. Then 3 over 4 over 5. I'm going to have this one. Or sometimes I'm going to do this. Then 4 over 2. Or you can, another option. All right? Yeah, I know you can hear the difference. All right? Then, if you go to a 5, remember we did a 5 over 3? Sometimes just do like that. This is a C sharp. Brothers and sisters, this is a C sharp. I'm just doing the second inversion here. This is going to give me that flavor. Let me show something cool. If sometime when I play this progression, I'll do this. Or I go chromatically down. Then this is a 4 over 2. It's still 4 over 2 here. So if I'm doing this, I'm gonna go chromatically down. Yeah, this is the chord I was looking for. So if I'm doing this, then forgive me, we just deviated a little bit, but it was good and it was worth it, isn't it? All right, now, let's now go to the second option that we have. Remember, I just talked about playing every major chord in that scale with its relative minor. All right? Now, let's go to the second option, trying to major and major together. So what do I mean? Putting two major triads together and see if we could achieve some prominence in goodness, in sounds. So let's go back to the F sharp. All right? So what if I mix a 1 and a 5? How could it sound? So my 1 is an F sharp, my 5 is a C sharp. So what if I put them together? Now, this is a tip. Every time a musician says 1 over something, the starting one is usually on the right. Then the one that comes to the end comes to the left. Like, for example, if I say 1 over 5, does not mean I play 1 with the left and 5 with the right. What I actually mean is 1 over 5, I'm going to play my 1 here and 5 here. They say that because a human brain is complicated. Or whatever. All right. Okay, I just lacked words on how to explain that. All right. I'm sorry. All right. Now, look at this. What if we put together a 5 and a 1? Practically, right here. So just come here, find a 5, 5 and 1. 5 and 1. So that means I'm going to play my 1 here. 5 and 1. 5, 1. So 1, 5. All right. So 1 and 5. Sounds good. I will not lie to you. I'll be in spirit to tell you it sounds good. This is a 1 and this is a 5. It's just experimental, guys. And it sounds good. All right? That is a 1 and a 5. It sounds like that, all right? Let's try and put 1 over 5 and see how it sounds. So 1 over 5, I'm going to put my 5 here. Then I'm going to put my 1 here. Okay, this, if you want to confuse the devil, play this chord. All right, but I kind of like the 1 over 5, like this. The one that sounds like the 1 over 5. This. I kind of like that. The part is a bit so. Now that is 1 over 5. What about a 2 and a 3? Can they come together? Very quickly, let's go to them. Let's hear how they sound. So I just said a 2 and a 3, so it's going to sound like this. It sounds good. I'll not lie to you, folks. This sounds good. Take a 3 and a 2. Sounds good. It's excellent. So these are options that you could learn to beautify your chords and your triads. These are just mere triads and putting them together to give you those flavors, all right? So now the other one. What about okay, I just did 4 and 5. Let's try 5 and a 4. Can they come together? Yes, I think so. So 5 and 4. So I'm going to have my 4 here and 5 here. Sounds good, guys. Still amazing. Now let's try to interchange that. Let me try and do 4 over 5. So I'm going to do my 4 here and 5 here. It still sounds great. It sounds good. Now, my favorite, a 5 and 6. A 5 and 6. So 6 come to my right, then my 5 comes to my left. Sounds good. Or the interchangeable way. So I do like this. So this is an E flat minor, and this is a C sharp major. So listen to this. The Wastahili song. I want to apply that 6 over 5. So simply that's how I would do that. All right. Now we just explored some of these possible, so the 5 and 6, 6 and 5, 4 and 1. 4 and 1 sounds great too. 4 and 1, 4 and 1. So 1 on my right, one on my left, then 4 on my right. It sounds good. Now my favorite here is 1 and 4. That chord. This. So this is how I would go around it. Like, instead of playing a whole 1 there and playing a 4 here, it sounds good still, but this is how I'll simplify it. I'll try to, because all these notes repeat themselves, I'll fuse everything together. Because this 4 has an E flat and an F sharp major in it, and an F sharp, the only note that is not in a 4 is this 5. I'll omit these 2, and I'm just gonna let them rest here because they're there. Then I'm just gonna play this one. I feel like I just ate the most beautiful kebab in Nairobi streets. Ah, sounds good. Very beautiful. All right. Now, finally, how do we simplify that so that every common folk could play it? For example, I just showed you when I'm doing my 1 and 4. So I'll just, because my 1 and the 4, they share notes, I will not play the notes that are repeated on my left hand on my right hand. So for example, a 1 and a 4 like this, like that, I will not play like that. Because an F sharp looks like this and a B looks like this, I have the freedom to play this way. Or, and it will just still sound okay. So I'll try with my left hand, play that, then, so that I have the freedom to move around with my right hand. All these are options that you could go and practice. Now, what is in the case of 5 and 6? This way, having this one. So what I'll do, because 6 and 5 do not have repetitive notes, yeah. They do not have any other notes that they share, except maybe if I try to play like that. Okay? So I'll play it as outright as that. Or I'll play a 5 and have a 6 here. Okay? So here's my favorite. If I play 6 and 6, I'll add the 5 over 6. So I'll add now the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like that. And it's gonna give me that flavor. Or all these are possibilities. Alright? Now, what is in the case of 1 and 4? No, this one I've already talked about it. I'm not going to go into those details. All right. So, but the secret here is any note that tends to repeat itself on the right hand, you omit them and you play the only note that is not in there. I hope it makes sense. Now, finally, let us try and learn on how we can apply this one, because it's very useless to learn something that you will never be able to use. So, let's try and explore all this. You all know this song. So this is. Right? You know. So this is that song says, I bring more than a song today. So first of all, I bring more than a song. So what happens is it's 1 and 5. What's happening? So I bring more than I bring more than a song today. So I bring more than a song to. So what happens here is, so what happens here is 1 and 5. They try and fuse that 1 and 5, but because these notes repeat themselves, they avoid some of them. So this is. So he had an option to play like that, but because this note is right there, so. What is happening here? They are trying to mix a 5 and a 2. So instead of like so they're just omitting most of them. So but this chord right here, if you listen to this one, there is a fusion of a 4, a 2, and a 5. So we have a 4 here, 4, we have a 4 here, we have a 2 here, and we have a 5 here. So I'm more than a song today. Or you can go, yeah. Remember this chord? This was a 4 and 1. A 4 and 1. So play like that. So I'm doing this because this note is in F sharp. So the 1 and 5, you remember? Yeah. So if I go to the chorus, so this is gonna be, this is yeah. So this is just a 5. The interest is here, so this is, or they choose it. So what is happening here is a 5 and a 3, all right, together. So it's like playing like this. But if you do this na, then you do ma together, it's gonna give you this feeling. Okay. So let me show you something cool. Right, you're here. Just play this one. Instead of playing this like that, just play like that, so that this note you're gonna put it down here. Yeah, it's gonna sound good like this. Then, so this is you're gonna do like this. Oh, receive this living sacrifice. Then here, or something cooler. So let me try to remember the chord I usually use. So this is receive this living sacrifice. So I'm playing as I'm trying to remember together. So I'm not like a lady. They usually do this thing together, like multitasking and all. So all together, I got this together. So chord I was looking for. Receive this living sacrifice. Then this chord here is like playing a 2, which is a major. I am yours. Okay, so together, one more time. Receive or this living sacrifice. This is a 5. This is a 7. These are twins, like hey cousins. That's why you got that flavor. So this is together. This living sacrifice. Then so what I'm doing here, I'm doing an F sharp, and then so this note is not in F sharp scale, but it comes from a second degree. 1, 2, 3. It comes from A flat minor scale, major scale, so rather. So that's where I'm borrowing it from. All right. So what I'm actually doing here is something that I haven't told you about. I'm actually doing what we call those. How do we call those? Is it what dominant something? Something dominant. I'll remember. I'll put it in the comment section, or before the end of the video, I may be able to tell you. Yeah. Secondary dominance. Secondary dominance. All right. So this is but you can just check it out and learn it so that you'll be able to play it very quickly. So this is together. Receive. This is 1 and 6. Okay. So together this is receive this living sacrifice. Then remember the 4 and 1. This is a C sharp dominant. It's actually a fuse between a 4 and 5 here. So they just play the 5 and add a 4 on it. Something cool. If you do that C sharp, or sometimes you can do it down here, right? You can decide to go full mode. That means playing a C sharp and a complete 4. It's gonna sound good, but because we have a repetition of almost all these B's, all right? So we have this, and we have this, and we have this. That's why we choose one B to represent everyone. So I'm gonna go, all right? Then I find a note that is not played in the C sharp, but is in the B, and that automatically is the 6. You understand these things, but with practice you will be able to do this very, very eloquently, even if it does not involve talking. Anyway, all right, okay, now final tip before I go. I know I had promised you something when we were starting the video. You heard something like these are very basic. Even if a professional could hear me play this one, would laugh at me. But let me show you anyway. All right, what is happening here? We are still the key of F sharp. Like for example, remember the song we started? If I tell you that you always play this chord, but it's only that you do not know where it is, and maybe you haven't registered how it sounds like. All right, so what happens here is I'm taking my 4 and I'm playing my flat 7. This is an F sharp. How to find your flat 7? Find the F or the key you're playing in, go down twice. So if I'm on the key of F sharp, I'll go down twice. 1, 2, that will be my flat 7. So an E is a flat 7 to the F sharp. Markofi. All right, so that is the chord. I'm gonna play its major 7. I play an E, then add the 7. Why do I choose this? Is because the last note of an E major 7 is the root triad for the 6th chord of an F sharp major chord or major scale. I hope it makes sense. This note here is the 7 of an E. And that very note is the 6th degree of an F sharp. This. So it interests me to find which chord is responsible for this note as a 7. So that means I ask myself, if this note is standing by itself, ni number 7 ya chord gani, an E major 7. So then it comes there. All right? Then, because the melody is here, then I land. So what I'm going to do, So what did I do here? I just went. Then, because I landed here, I'm going to ask myself, which chord has this note for the 7? So it's a D major 7. So I will go, I find my E major 7, go to my D major 7 right there. So the melody went. Then I ask myself, this is a B. Which chord has that B for the 7? Is a C major 7. C, then 7. Then, because the melody went, I ask myself, which chord has this one for the 7? Is a B major 7. So I'm gonna go. So if I was saying, what's the So I hope you're gonna get this one. So what's the healing? What's the healing? That chord? I already shown you this one. What's the healing? Before I finish that one, let me show you what am I happening. I'm just happening here. So this one, this chord right here is a B minor. Instead of, I just did one, then I have to finish. So what is happening? I'm adding a 2 here. So it sounds like that. So, what's the healing? What's the healing? What's the healing? Then I do the So this is now this is my signature. Simple. pokea utukufu. And that calls for the finalization of this video, and I hope it blessed you and it's teaching you something. If it didn't, go to YouTube. I know you could find so many other helpful tutorials, but if it really is impactful to your life, please do not hesitate to leave us with a thumbs up, so that YouTube will be able to tell you when another concept like this one comes up. So God bless you so much. Continue to subscribe and share to everyone. Let's create a community and learn from more. Thank you. May God bless you. Ciao.